So hello, it's 2 o'clock, and let's start with Recruit Lab's webinar. Today's topic is how the shift from traditional to virtual recruitment has changed the role of recruiters. I'm really happy to see so many of you here, and it's my honor to have your attention for the next hour and a half. So a bit about this live storm environment we are using today. As you see, you can add your comments to the chat. Let me know from which country you are attending today's webinar. It will be interesting to know. You also see on the right side the questions tab. Add any questions you have to me, to our 3 panelists, or maybe you have questions about Recruit Lab. And there's a third chat or the third tab as well, polls. So as I'm really in love with data and always interested to find a new trend, so I have added a couple of questions to you. So take the time, let me know how you're doing, and after answering, you will also see how other participants have answered. Just a technical information, your microphone and video are off today. Yeah, and that's about live storm. About me, my name is Maria. I have been active in the recruitment field for the past 9 years. I have worked as an in-house recruiter, as a recruitment consultant, and managed my own recruitment agency. And today, I'm a community manager of Recruit Lab. And my goal is simple. My goal is to make recruiters happy by initiating interesting conversations with recruitment experts and topics about topics like recruitment automation, the role of recruiters, and trends in recruitment. And this is something we are going to do today. And it's also my goal to make recruiters happy with modern recruitment tools. And this is something we are doing with Recruit Lab's awesome team. We offer modern and really easy to use tools for applicant tracking, video interviewing, and recruitment marketing. And there have been a lot of focus recently on how to offer better candidate experience and how to avoid recruiter ghosting, meaning that you leave your candidates without any information and you don't give them enough feedback in the recruitment process. So I firmly believe that in order to offer good candidate experience, recruiters need really, really good tools. And this is something we are doing at Recruit Lab. Really nice to see you here. A lot of information in our chat. So as I said, let me know from which country you're attending. And let's start with today's webinar. What I have planned for today, I will kick off with some insights from recruitment market. I will show you the slides. Yeah, I will kick off with some insights from the recruitment market, or from the recruitment roller coaster, as it seems, to be honest, since 2020. Then we will start the discussion with Amanda, Ieva, and Piret. I will invite them to the stage, and we will talk about how the role of recruiters has changed, and what kind of trends they are seeing, and why and how should recruiters use technology in recruitment. And after this discussion, I will show you 7 really easy steps how to automate your tasks you're doing daily or weekly, and how to offer a better candidate experience. And as there are so many of you today, there's a bonus to everyone who is attending this live webinar. Actually 2 bonuses, and at the end of the webinar I will introduce these 2 offers to you as well, so stay with us. It's going to be interesting. Okay, what's happening in the recruitment field? I guess you agree with me if I say that the past couple of years have been really challenging for recruiters. And although we already thought that it was really difficult to find great employees in year 2019, and we thought that it can't get any more difficult, then actually this year and last year has proved us that we were totally wrong. And I just show you a couple of things that show how active the recruitment market is at the moment. First, you have probably noticed that this year it seems that there's a higher demand for employees or higher demand for talent than ever before. And all the companies that froze their recruitment activities last year are now this year somehow trying to make it up, and they are again actively recruiting. And for recruiters, it means that there are a lot of open positions at the same time. They need to work more. They are more stressed, overworked. So difficult times for you and for me. Secondly, according to a lot of researchers, or many researchers, since the pandemic, the employee turnover rates have been higher than ever before. And the reasons behind this, mostly people are moving because a lot of companies didn't act according to their values and didn't keep their promises during the crisis. And that's why they're looking for new opportunities. And a lot of companies find it difficult to recruit because of their weak employer brand or even because of their bad reputation. And this makes recruiting even more difficult for recruiters. And the third fact that, or the third aspect that shows how active the recruitment market is today is the fact that this demand for recruiters is skyrocketing. And based on the statistics that LinkedIn published recently, you probably have seen this article on LinkedIn. In May this year, there were 3 times more job offers for recruiters than in January 2019. So a lot of going on the recruitment market. And this kind of changes made us curious as well, and pushed us to conduct our own international survey among people who are involved in recruitment, because we wanted to learn how recruiters and recruitment team leads have adapted to the changes. The final survey of the final report of the survey will be published in October. I will keep you posted. But today we are already ready with our analysis, and we will take a look at these results with Amanda, Ieva, and Piret. Just to give you a bit more information about the survey, we collected the data from June to September this year, and we have a bit more than 1,900 participants, and they are both from agency and in-house recruitment, and from 14 different countries. And mostly they were recruiters or talent acquisition specialists, but also team leads and HR specialists or HR managers who are responsible for recruitment, or hiring managers, directors, CEOs who are actively involved in recruitment processes. And today we're mainly covering 4 topics. We will talk about the changes in recruitment. We will talk about video recruitment, its benefits and negative side effects. We will talk about technology in recruitment, why it's important, and why recruiters should use more technology, and how to keep the balance between automation and human touch. And at last, we will talk about the role of recruiters, how the role has changed changed and what we as recruiters and talent acquisition specialists can do to make it more valued in the business world. So I'm happy to invite now our panelists. In just a second. So we have today Piret from Nortal. We have Amanda from Printful and Ieva from Vinted. Hello, Piret. Hello, Amanda.
Hi.
In a second, Ieva will join us as well.
Hello.
Hello, Ieva. So nice to see you all here. And I know you a bit, but maybe we can start with a short introduction. Who are you from which country, country? What's your current role? And how big is your recruitment or talent acquisition team? So maybe we can start with you, Piret. Hi.
Hello. Hello, everyone. Happy to be here. I hope that everybody can hear me well. I'm sitting in the hotel room in Estonia. I sneaked away from the strategic offsite meeting with my talent acquisition team to spend a little bit less than an hour with you guys. So just can give me a heads up if you can hear me nicely and connection is good.
We can hear you nicely. Thank you
Awesome.
for joining.
Awesome. But to answer your question, yes, my name is Piret and I'm working in the company called Nortal, which is probably well known for most of the Estonians, maybe also in Lithuania a little bit, but we are the software development and consultation company. So, and the answer that how big is my team? So as we are all here together in Estonia, then the global team today is, we're having here 21 people at the moment. We have 4 people staying at home. There are 2 more people joining during the following months. So we have quite a lot of us already. So yes, and my role is the group level head of talent acquisition.
Great, thank you, Piret. So you have like your own recruitment agency inside Nortal.
Yes.
Thanks, Amanda. Let's continue with you. Happy to see you.
Happy to be here. So hi everyone, my name is Amanda and I'm currently working in Printful, which is IT and e-commerce company. And well, we are from Latvia, but we have offices also in North America and in UK, Poland and Spain as well. And my team consists of actually 10 amazing recruitment experts.
Okay, great. Thank you. And Ieva, hi.
Hi, everyone. So my name is Ieva, and I'm working at Vinted. That's also a technology company. We are on a mission to make second-hand fashion a first choice worldwide. We are the first Lithuanian unicorn, originated in Lithuania, but now we have offices in Berlin, Amsterdam, Utrecht, Prague, and already thinking about opening other locations as well. And yeah, we have 22 people in our talent acquisition team, and I am leading a team of 6 talent acquisition partners and specialists who are based in Vilnius and Berlin and who are taking care of our tech hiring.
Thank you. And as I mentioned before, all the participants, you can add questions to the questions tab. And if you have any questions to Piret, Amanda, or Ieva, feel free to add them and I will ask the question. Or if we don't have time today, we will maybe then do a follow-up session. But as we were talking about challenges in recruitment, so Ieva, what are like the most important challenges your team is facing at the moment?
There are a couple, I would say. So I guess one is, more related to the global situation with, talent shortage overall. So it's, it's getting more and more challenging to find and attract, especially tech talent, I would say. So the competition is really high. So that's one thing, I guess. But the other thing is that, we are scaling the company really fast. We already hired, more than 500 people this year, and we'll be planning to do even more next year. So, I guess one of our challenges, which is really interesting at the same time, is that while we are growing really fast and while we're scaling the company, we also need to think about when we will, we now have more than 1,000 people in the company, but we already need to think about, okay, so what's going to happen when we have, 2,000 people or 5,000 people in the company, because, the processes, the technologies, and a lot of other aspects that are working now won't be working when we hit those numbers and when the company will be bigger. So while scaling the company and facing the talent shortage, we also need to experiment a lot, and we need to think about the future and try to get ready for that, because we don't want to be building the plane while flying on it at the same time. So this is the combination that makes it challenging for us.
Okay, thank you. Piret, are your challenges somehow similar, or how's the situation in Estonia?
Yeah, I was listening to Ieva, and my question in my mind was like, are you also working at Nortal? Because definitely those are the same topics that why my whole global talent acquisition team today is here with me in Estonia to figure out the new strategy for the following years, how to scale up, and also not in small numbers, but quite big numbers. That how the processes that we have today, how to improve them, how to make them more bulletproof, so to speak. But in general also, I think that the past year and a half, when you have been working only through the computer screen, so to speak, then this is also something that is a challenge, that how to keep still the team together, even though the remote is here to stay. And we at Nortal are also saying that working from the office in the future will be the opportunity, not something that you definitely must do, but how to keep the team, not only the talent acquisition team, but the whole company, the culture and everything alive during this time. And of course, the competition in the market is fierce everywhere, as we are operating all over the world, starting from the US, Germany, Serbia, Middle East, etc. Then there is no country where my recruiters would say that, yeah, it's really easy. The candidates are applying themselves and it's like piece of cake. No. So I think that everybody all over the world has the same challenges.
Okay, thank you. Amanda, how are you doing?
Well, it seems that I'm working in the same company together with Ieva and Piret. Okay. But so we are facing actually the same issues and the same challenges. And I will totally agree with Piret. Currently, we have also started to hire like remote positions from any country in the world. And we are actually experiencing that in each country, there is talent shortage actually. So talent shortage, IT recruitment, and how to keep culture live within the company and within the team, actually, and how to keep team together as we are working in separate countries and we are all the time remote. So those are the most challenges.
Okay, I will show you the results from our survey. We had the question, how has the pandemic affected recruitment and your work? And here are the top 4 aspects. And I think one positive thing that this COVID brought on us is this, that we needed to try out new things. And as you see, 51% of recruiters say that they started using new recruitment tools. Probably they started using different video recruitment tools. So my question to you is, have you changed something in your recruitment processes because of the pandemic? Do you do now something differently? Piret.
Yeah. I was actually thinking that have we changed something that drastically? I think that all the panelists here who are working in the IT sector, then doing the video interviews or interviewing people over the Zoom, Teams, whatsoever, this is definitely not the new thing for us. As a recruiter, you can do your job from Estonia, but actually hire people for Germany, for Oman, for Serbia. It doesn't matter in that sense. So in the technology company, I would say that the processes haven't changed that much, but there are definitely a couple of things that when we entered into this difficult era, we went through, let's say, with hiring managers, that how to do properly the video interviews, that you are not going to the video interviews and then starting shooting the questions right away. You have to give people a little bit more time to settle in, to get adjusted. You need to have a little bit more this kind of chit chat to get this feeling that it is okay to talk, it is okay to ask questions, and etc. So maybe this was something that we put the more focus in the beginning. But in general, I have to say that everything has been quite smooth for us in that sense, because we have had lots of practice regarding this kind of, it's not video interview, it's like, I don't know.
Virtual
virtual interviews.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, thanks. Ieva, how about you? Have you changed something in your recruitment process lately?
I was actually thinking the same, that we have been used to online interviewing as well, so it wasn't like that big of a change for us. I guess the only one thing that we changed was that we have those so-called tryout days, as we call it, where we actually invite candidates to spend a day or two with us, usually a day. Because we want to to see how candidates are feeling in our environment. Also, we want to let them feel the vibe, feel the atmosphere, to be able to meet their colleagues, etc., so that they would have a pretty good understanding, what they would be signing up for, if they would accept the job offer. So basically, I guess the biggest change was in this trial day, because we were not able to invite people to come to the office. And yes, we were doing the remote tryouts as well before, so it wasn't like this huge change, but we needed to make some changes to move it to online completely. But I wouldn't say that it was very difficult. But I guess the same things as Piret mentioned, that we needed to start talking to our hiring managers a bit more about how to create the rapport, how to run those video interviews and etc. And also, we launched the hiring manager training program, and we were talking a lot about unconscious bias, because video interviewing and online interviewing can kind of, in a way, maybe limit the information that you get from the candidate in a way. So, you know, there could be some more room for interpretation and for your imagination sometimes. So yeah, we wanted to address the importance of, you know, collecting evidence and getting the information of candidates, you know, and get the answers and not, you know, leave it for your speculation and fight the how is it important to fight the unconscious bias and things like that. So I would say that, yeah, pretty much the same things. And also, you know, yeah, it basically it encouraged us to to try out and experiment with more of new tools. So that's pretty much it. But yeah, it wasn't like a drastic change for us, actually.
Okay. We also saw from our survey results that 34% of recruiters say that their stress level has increased since the pandemic, and also their workload. And I know, Amanda, that you are doing something special to keep your recruiters happy. So maybe you can share some tips and tricks to others as well.
Yeah, so to keep our recruiters happy in Printful, actually, we have invented cappuccino breaks, and that's a time once per week that we are all getting together. And one of us is actually a party manager, and we are doing some kind of games, answering to some questions, just being together and doing something together. But we are doing everything, but not talking about the work. So yeah, for each time we have the party manager, as I mentioned, and we are having these things on Tuesdays. Also, I will quickly mention that on October we are having team building event, and we are bringing like whole team together, as part of the team is in Spain. So we will bring all team together in Latvia so that we can feel actually and see each other in real life.
Okay. Piret, what are your tips and tricks how to manage a remote team? I know your recruiters are also working and living in really different countries.
Yeah, definitely. Over the years, actually, we have had one tradition that we are trying to meet at least once per year. So last year, this was not happening. This year, we are all here together. But we have bi-weekly lunch, virtual lunch. So this means that everyone who can join then will join. The topics are not necessarily work-related, but more of the what's going on in the world, what's everybody are doing, just to be and have this kind of human touch beside everyday work life as well. We have done team events as much as we can on the local level. If possible, then going outside as well and meeting in the nature or something like this. We have played lots of games in online as well. Not during the recent months, actually, but when the COVID time started, then we had several online events playing Cards Against Humanity and other games just to keep us entertained and having fun.
Okay, thank you. We already talked a bit about video interviewing or this virtual recruitment. So can you share some tips and tricks to others as well who maybe haven't used as much virtual recruitment as you three? How to conduct the interviews? Are you doing something differently? How do you read the body language, or are you missing something from the face-to-face interviews? Everything would be interesting to others to know. So Ieva, let's start with you.
Yeah, so I guess it was already mentioned that, you know, it's easier to build a good rapport with the candidate when you're meeting face to face. So that's why I guess the number one thing when doing online interviews is actually, you know, to make sure, to spend enough time, for introduction, for breaking the ice and building that rapport. And I guess, I sometimes get a lot of answers from the hiring managers that but I don't know what to say, it's a bit awkward or whatever. We have actually plenty topics to address. We're all in the pandemic, so I guess the easiest question these days are are you working in the office or are you working from home? How was it for you? Whatever that is. So yeah, spending enough time to actually build a rapport with the candidate. And I wouldn't say that there's a huge difference between face-to-face interviews and online interviews, from the perspective that you can get all of the same information, but I guess during the video interviews you might lose some bits of it when not seeing the body language and stuff. But so I guess my only advice would be to be conscious about it, to prepare for the interviews, and to make sure that you leave the interview having all of the information that you needed to have, right? So meaning to having a good understanding of the competencies that and skills that the person has, etc. So for that you just need to dig a bit deeper, use a bit more of interviewing techniques, and you can get pretty much the same result as with face-to-face interviewing, actually.
Okay, thanks. Amanda, do you have any special tricks on how to make your candidates feel more comfortable?
I will agree to Ieva that there is actually not much difference between video and face-to-face interviews. However, there is a tiny bit that you are losing something of candidates' body language, but also for tips and tricks, I think the most important thing is to remember that to make candidate comfortable, so you use some icebreaker questions, and also don't panic when something is wrong with the connection. That's something we have to be used to, and don't panic. You can always call the candidate and you can just figure out something, or maybe reschedule the interview time, but things like that happen.
Okay, thanks. We also asked from our survey participants which kind of benefits they saw from using live video interviews or this virtual recruitment. And almost every second recruiter says that video interviewing has reduced their time spent on recruitment, saved on travel costs, and 17% even say that it has allowed them to offer better candidate experience and higher engagement rates. And then we asked our participants in which recruitment stages they use video interviews. And the 60% of participants say that they use video interviews in the pre-selection process or this initial screening first interview stage. So my question to you is, do you use, or are you already, is it normal to you and your company to use video interviews in every stages? And are you ready to hire someone without meeting them in person? Piret.
Yes, and yes. We have done this several times, and one of the stories that I believe people are remembering stories better than just pure facts. Mm-hmm. So I can share one story where we hired the project manager for our Middle East project, and this person eventually needed to also relocate to Middle East. So the recruitment was done from Estonia. The hiring manager was in the Middle East. The candidate was in Latvia. So the whole process was done without seeing face-to-face, no steps pretty much. But no, actually I'm lying. The one stage before the official offer, then we flew the candidate actually to Estonia as well. But yeah, in most of the cases, you can do the same things in online that you can do face-to-face as well. But I think that it's people mind this kind of perception that maybe, I don't know, I have the different feeling when I'm doing this more in on-site, or I can get the better feeling of the person. But I think that why the face-to-face or the meeting somewhere with the person is important is to actually give the candidate the view of the company, the view into the people with whom they are starting to work. Because from the validation point of view, the video interviews are working the same way. I don't see any difference there. So yeah.
Okay, good. There's a question in our questions tab that has the rate of bad fit hires increased with the pandemic? And have you seen an increased rate of dishonesty by applicants? As it is somehow related to these video interviews. Piret, how's the situation?
No, I wouldn't say that it has been risen. I have to say that I have been spending now 3 years with Nortal, and I don't even remember specific case that we have had this kind of really weird, dishonest situation either with the candidate on site or online. But I do remember before COVID time when I had interviews with candidates who were either trying to cheat with the technical interviews and etc. So no, it hasn't changed that.
Okay. Something you also stated that this video recruitment isn't something so new in the recruitment field. Since the pandemic, 74 of survey participants say that they have used video interviewing, and it was a surprise for us to see that actually already 62% of recruiters used video interviewing or this virtual recruitment in some stages before. So the headlines. Is video recruitment here to stay, or are we ever going back to face-to-face interviews? Are a bit dramatic because this isn't actually something so new in recruitment. What is maybe a bit more newer are these asynchronous video interviews or one-way video interviews or on-demand video interviews. I know you haven't used them in your recruitment process before, Amanda, but are you considering them, or is it something you are not ever going to do?
Yeah, we are definitely actually taking a look at it right now. We are searching for the best company or the best platform actually we could use because it saves recruiters time. It's really good for high volume interviews, and I think also hiring managers could be more engaged because in this, they are not reading only like recruiters' notes, but they can actually see candidate. So yeah, I think this is definitely on what we are looking at actually currently.
Okay, to those who are not friends with asynchronous video interviews, just a short introduction that you can, instead of like having phone calls in the pre-selection process, you can record your questions and send them out thousands or hundreds of candidates at the same time. And candidates will record their answers to your questions and send back at the time convenient for them. And you as a recruiter or hiring managers can take a look at the video answers and then decide whether you want to move on with this candidate or not. I will show you later how it's done in Recruit Lab. But Ieva, have you considered these one-way video interviews, or is it something you don't see that is suitable to your roles you're recruiting for?
So we're just as Amanda mentioned, we're going through the same thing. We're testing that out now, actually, and I'm pretty sure that in pretty much every company, you have to be adaptive, because you have many different roles, right? So you have to be creative. You have to think of what's out there, what are the possibilities, what are the opportunities you're maybe not using well at the moment, and identifying where they can be adjusted and try it out. So this is something that we are definitely considering. This is definitely we're thinking of and experimenting with, and I can only agree that I guess the number one suspect to implement this technique is basically the volume roles, because when you have to run loads and loads and loads of interviews, this method can actually save you quite a lot of time, and there are plenty of ways to ensure that it won't affect the quality of hires. So yeah, I would say that for volume roles, that's a number one thing that you should try out and see whether it's working for you or not. But I think it can be scaled to all sorts of different roles, depending on what you're looking for, how you're building your recruitment process.
Mm-hmm. These are the benefits that our other recruiters saw from using these one-way video interviews. Again, they saw that they had reduced their time spent on recruitment, and they were more informative than just reading information from the CV or gathering information via phone calls. And as you, Amanda, mentioned, yes, some recruiters even see that it's easier to engage hiring managers from the early stages of the recruitment process. Piret, what's your opinion about this kind of interviewing or this kind of pre-selection method?
Yeah. I'm totally agreeing with Ieva that this type of interviewing is easier to implement when you have the high volume roles. In Nortal, we don't have this kind of roles. So this kind where you have lots of applicants, majority of our roles still are sourcing based, that you're seeking those unicorn flavored purple squirrels. But yeah, we just today actually briefly touched this topic, and we have one recruiter among ourselves who has been working in the really huge consultation company who is hiring approximately 75,000 people per year. And there definitely for the efficiency, it makes sense. But I think that for me and for Nortal in our team, the real aim where we are actually trying to be and what we are trying to do is that build efficiency, but in the same time still keep the human touch. So definitely this means that you need to plan better your processes. You need to have the perfect tools. There definitely needs to be some automation in place. But for us today, I don't believe that this kind of approach would be implementable. I don't know even if it is a word in English.
Let's say it is.
But yeah, at the moment we are not discussing. But as we all know, in the recruitment market, you have to be adaptable. So you have to go together with the change. And if you see that this is something that you really need to build up the efficiency, and if you can still keep and maintain the candidate experience journey, in the highest level, then I'm ready to try this out if the developers are willing to do this.
Yeah, that's the main question. I think there has to be a change on the market if they're willing to do this.
Exactly.
But to those who are recruiting for the entry-level positions, you will find a really interesting case study from Veriff in our blog, and they are describing how they managed their recruitment process with more than 300 candidates and hired, if I remember correctly, about 17 candidates in just only 25 days. And their former recruiter, Elizabeth, describes how they managed to do this, how they used these one-way video interviews, what kind of questions they asked from their candidates. So take a look at our blog. Let's move on. In the survey, we had a question about are you or your team using a recruitment software or applicant tracking system? And it was a bit of a surprise to us that actually 48% of recruiters say that they don't use applicant tracking software or recruitment software. I know all three of you are using tools in your work. So what's your suggestion to these recruiters who are still manually maybe managing their candidates in Excel and Outlook? How can recruitment software help them, in your opinion, Ieva?
In many different ways. Yeah, so basically, I think, honestly, I believe that applicant tracking system is a must for any company. Well, unless you're hiring like 5 or 10 people per year, but if your volumes, are a bit higher, it's not a huge threshold over here that you would need to implement the applicant tracking system. That's a must, because because you can build a better relationship with the candidate, when collecting all of the information, in one place, and when having the history, you can automate a lot of things. You can see the data and statistics, so there are many things that applicant tracking system can bring you, and also it can keep you safe, because knowing the GDPR regulations, across European Union, we have to ensure our candidates' privacy and that their data are kept safe, and they know how we're managing their data, etc. And you simply cannot do that with Excel sheets or other tools like Outlook or whatever. So yeah, that's not only to make your job more efficient, to bring more quality in your job, but that's also for security reasons. That's very important.
Piret, should we be afraid that technology is going to replace us, recruiters and talent acquisition specialists?
Yeah. Yes, if you are working like a robot.
That was the answer I was looking for.
But yeah, in general, I definitely think that technology is here to help us to be more closer to the hiring managers, to actually be the partner that they need and seek, to help business to grow, and to be the partner also to the candidates, to help them to find the perfect match where they would fulfill their purpose in life from this kind of career point of view, because work cannot be the only purpose in your life. But still, I think that the good recruiters, they are really, really hard to replace by the robots.
Okay. Ieva, how about you? What kind of steps or activities have you automated, you and your team?
I guess the most obvious ones to automate are scheduling, surveys, some parts of candidate management. You can easily automate this, and this is something that we did. But in general, speaking about this human touch and automation, or technology blend, let's call it that way. I guess recruitment in general will be touched by this trend, will be affected by the same trend that all of the world is facing now, and this trend will continue. So more and more routine tasks will be taken over by technology, but there are parts in the recruiter's job which requires creativity, connection, problem solving, analytical skills, and etc. So humans will always be needed, while we will need these parts. While we will have these parts in our jobs. So I am suggesting everyone to do the analysis of your recruitment processes, to indicate which parts, can be automated, which parts can be done by technology, because honestly, automation and technology can not only make, your work more efficient, it can let you actually avoid a lot of human mistakes. So it's absolutely a good thing to do and a smart thing to do, and we shouldn't be worried that we will be replaced by technology anytime soon.
So Amanda, now it's your turn. What have you automated in your recruitment processes, and how do you keep this balance between automation and human touch?
I also think that we have automated most obvious things, like some kind of communication, statistics, scheduling, etc. But I think that while we will hire humans, we will still need humans as a talent acquisition specialist, because this human touch is actually the thing which sometimes brings the best candidate to the company. And we need someone who tells from the bottom of their heart actually about the company, and recruiters are the face of the company. So I think you have to automate as much processes as possible, so you would avoid the mistakes, as Ieva mentioned, and also so you could have like a lot more time for this human touch.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, because as you have noticed, this topic of recruiter ghosting is more popular now, and it's always interesting. Or I'm always thinking about, like, I don't think recruiters are doing this on purpose, that they are not caring about their candidates. I guess this the reasons behind recruiter ghosting is more connected to the tools recruiters are using or are still not yet using. And hopefully this technology in recruitment will change this, how we are managing our processes and how we are communicating with our candidates. But let's move on to the last topic. In our survey, we had several questions about how recruiters are feeling. Are they proud? It's nice to see that 67% of recruiters say that they are really proud to work in recruitment. It is the war for talent has somehow replaced with the new headline, a war for good recruiters, because in the Baltics, 80% of the recruiters stated that they have received job offers during the last 6 months. And as Piret mentioned before, it's really difficult to replace a good recruiter. But what was Interesting and sad at the same time. 64% of recruiters say or feel that recruitment-related roles are underappreciated in the business world. So, Piret, what can we do to change that? Because as we all know, the role of a recruiter is more important than ever before. But what is causing this wrong perception of the recruiter's role?
I think that we are in the time of changes, actually. So there has been times when recruiter has been looked like the junior HR person. There has been times, and still in some places are the times when sourcer role has been looked like the junior recruiter profile. So, and in a way, the same thing that when the team is silently doing their job without actually also saying out loud to the business that how hard it is to actually recruit or what is the market doing, then it's really hard for business to understand that where are the bottlenecks. So I'm not saying here that the blame is on the recruitment side. Totally not. Don't get me wrong. But I think that the more we are opening up and saying that, guys, it is totally understandable that you need to hire roles faster and quicker and with a lesser salary or whatsoever, then recruitment is not the McDonald's drive-in. So you need to plan. You need to give us time to figure out that what are your needs. Don't come to our doors and say that I needed this profile 2 weeks ago already. So, and this is a two-way street. So building the partnership together with the business where you are doing your recruitments, this is the role for each and every recruiter to actually understand the business and talk with the business, understand their needs, not to be also the McDonald's server who are just offering the things on the plate every time when somebody's asking. So yeah, it's a two-way street, and I also can say that I believe that things are getting better and better each and every day already. So as we are facing or we are living in the era where the recruiter's role is more hunted than Java developer, then this is definitely the time where business also understands that okay, guys, there is something in you. But we are getting there. But definitely the change starts from ourselves. I would put it in that way. So you cannot also expect that the business is noticing things where they are also busy doing other important stuff. So it's our role to grow into the partnership role and actually say out loud what the market is doing, and also ask from the business the correct information so we could help them.
Okay. Business always likes numbers. So what do you think, should recruiters be more like numbers oriented, or should they measure more their different activities they are doing? Should they like have different KPIs to show off to the business side?
Mm-hmm. If you don't measure, then how do you know where are your bottlenecks? I think that this is the easiest answer, or this kind of really simple answer to give. You definitely should measure the time to fill, time to hire from where your candidates are coming. What is the actual time that your candidates are spending in the recruitment process? How much time one hiring manager takes to actually give the real feedback? How much time you are spending to find the time in the hiring manager's calendar, which is booked with all of other important topics or stuff. So if you don't measure, then this is just the background noise, like the mother who is disciplining the kid. So if you don't have the facts to prove your talk, then nothing can be improved, and you don't know yourself how you're doing. So the question is that how the success looks like and how does it feel like? And if you don't have numbers to put behind that, then you don't know where to improve. You don't know where you are.
I totally agree with you again. Amanda, what makes a recruiter successful today? What kind of skills should recruiters focus on? I don't know, sourcing skills, negotiation skills, or something else?
I think recruiter has to have this willingness to learn, actually, and they have to be. There has to be. I don't know if there is like such word in English, but they have to be. They have to have adaptiveness. Yeah, they have to be adaptable. So basically, sometimes they just have to hear candidates. Sometimes they have to hear hiring manager. Sometimes they actually have to be a teacher and educate hiring managers. Sometimes they have to be a storytellers and give some information to hiring managers or candidates. They have to be really good marketing specialists, as we are talking about employer branding, and they have to be really good salesmen, because you have to sell also the role with which you are working. So I think adaptiveness is also very important. And regarding statistics, well, they have to know how to do the math as well, as I think already in the past few years we are talking about data-driven recruitment more and more, so that we could actually improve our daily processes.
There's a question from Raza, that what are the average time to hire metrics in your company? Amanda, can you share the statistics?
It actually quite differs from role to role. On average, we are sticking to those 35 business days, but however, it differs. For example, for IT roles, it really takes longer. For recruiters, this year I had a recruiter role opened twice. Well, it took a really long time to find the best candidate. And for customer support, we are feeling it super fast. So it really differs from role to role. Also for fulfillment associates and sewers, as we are having fulfillment centers, it also takes a lot less time than if we are talking about IT project manager or PHP developer. But I think actually on average it was 39 business days last when I measured, but that's actually totally counting all departments together.
Okay. Ieva, what's your average time to hire in your company?
Approximately similar. Yet again, it depends, on the role, etc. But yeah, taking the average of all the roles and all the departments, it's 42 days actually. So yeah, but we have a pretty, pretty. How should I put that? Yeah, we want to make sure that we hire the right people, and also we want our candidates to be sure that they're making the right choice. That's why we choose to spend enough time in the process and not to rush it, because yes, time is important. We're not, we don't wanna prolong the process too much, but at the same time we want to focus on the quality, and that's the number one thing for us. That's why we want to spend just enough time for both sides to be able to get enough information, make an informed decision, and to be as sure as possible that both sides are making the right choice.
Okay. Our time is coming to an end. We have a lot of questions in the questions tab, so maybe we should do a follow-up session soon. I will give a chance to every one of you on stage to ask a question from one of your colleagues. So Piret, do you have any provocative questions to Amanda or Ieva you would like to know?
Yeah, I actually was thinking when Ieva was talking about this asynchronized video interviews and implementing this into the company, that when you talk, then my question was like, so yeah, you are doing also hiring developers, so how are you going to do that?
Not for all roles, for sure, and the developers probably are not our target. We also have some volume roles within, for example, community support department. So we are just trying this out. Not saying that it's going to stick, but we are targeting volume roles for sure, and not tech roles.
Totally understandable. And if I may, can I have a question to Amanda as well?
Of course.
Pushing all the boundaries, Amanda, you were saying that you guys are also expanding quite heavily in the world, and you are also recruiting in the countries where you don't have the official offices. So we are in the same time today as well expanding or exploring the opportunities, and I have some tools already in my mind. And I just wanted to ask, like, how are you planning to solve this tackle regarding the taxes, the legal, the payroll, everything that comes with it? Because the world is not ready for that.
Actually, we are using platform. We are using platform named Deal. They are, I think they are also unicorn, but
I'm also talking with them at the same time, so that's why.
They have really good customer support. I'm totally actually looking forward to this cooperation with them, because we signed agreement with them, in last month. So we are just signing first roles right now with them. But Can
I ask, is your account manager Lina?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
So hello to Lina. I guess Lina is participating today also. So cheers to Lina. But Amanda, do you have any questions to Piret or Ieva you would like to know?
I will actually have the same question for both of you, for Piret and Ieva. What is the biggest lesson learned in recruitment in your current companies, in Vinted and Nortal?
No, I guess, there were quite a lot of lessons, I would say, in different situations. But I guess, it wasn't like something new for me. I always thought of this, but at Vinted, I guess now I feel like I'm completely sure that, you can teach people a lot of hard skills. You can teach, sourcing, you can teach interviewing techniques, etc. So that's why when it comes to recruiters, I always, kind of are sticking to the soft skills and to the soft competencies, if I may call it that way. And I am, I understood that, my criteria, how to build a good team, should always be focused on the soft skills, to name a few: problem solving, creativity, adaptability, analytical skills, communication skills, all of those things. You can learn, a lot of hard skills, and you can be a good recruiter when you learn that. But without the soft skills, you won't be a star. And that's, I guess, what I learned, and I reapproved to myself when working with my current team, which I absolutely love working with. So I guess that was my reassurance, that you have to have that to build a good team, and with a good team you can do pretty much anything you want and anything you're dreaming about. So
yeah, I definitely support what Ieva said, but I was also thinking that what has been the biggest learning process for me is probably that fail fast. Don't try to be the perfectionist, in that sense that don't think too long in some processes or some bits and pieces. So just go out there, do your thing. If you're failing, then learn your lesson and clean your knees and go forward. And this is something that is quite crucial in the recruitment field nowadays. I would say that you have to adapt really quickly, and you don't have time to feel remorse of the mistakes that you have been doing. Just learn and move forward.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us, Piret, Amanda, and Ieva. It was really interesting to hear about your thoughts, to get to know you better. And we'll see, maybe we'll meet again. So thank you. I will, you can now leave the stage. Right, and we will continue with the last part of our webinar. I will, as I promised before, I will show you some really easy steps how to automate easy activities or simple steps you're doing daily, and how to offer better candidate experience, because I'm really against recruiter ghosting, and I will show you easy steps how to not ghost your candidates. So you should be seeing my screen now. As I mentioned before, our goal at the Recruit Lab is to make recruiters happy with modern and really easy to use tools. And we offer tools for applicant tracking, video interviewing, and recruitment marketing. And while I was working as a recruiter and I was managing my candidates in Excel and Outlook, I remember that I had my own system with red flags on Outlook. I had always 3 folders to manage the CVs, yes folder, no folder, maybe folder. And I always felt overwhelmed, and I always felt that I'm probably missing something, missing someone. I probably haven't answered to all of my candidates. So this was like a stressful moment for me, because at the end of the day, I always had some thoughts on my mind that, okay, did I answer to Mari or not? And this is something we are solving with Recruit Lab. Recruit Lab gives you back the feeling of control, and you really have the full overview all the time of all your recruitment projects, or all the open positions you are trying to fill. You have the full overview of all your candidates. You have all the most important statistics here all the time, something you can share with your manager or the business side to show that you are working, you are actually talking to candidates, you are interviewing, and so on. And if you are going to the project view, the project view in Recruit Lab is divided into stages. You can name and rearrange the stages as you like. The philosophy behind Recruit Lab is that you don't have to adapt your recruitment processes to Recruit Lab. On the contrary, Recruit Lab adapts to your processes. So it's really easy to just rename all the stages, rearrange the stages, and make it work for you. As we were talking about recruiter ghosting today, I will just give you really easy, simple steps how to avoid being the ghost, and how to offer better candidate experience with just a couple of clicks. Then I know a lot of recruiters listening at the moment are from agencies, so and a lot of you from the in-house recruitment are really working closely with hiring managers. So it's really easy to invite hiring managers and your clients to this project view as well, just clicking on the plus sign and adding their email address. And I think the key element behind this positive candidate experience is having a system in place, having the full overview of everything you are doing in your recruitment processes. And the most easiest thing we all can do if we are using a recruitment software is saying thank you to all the candidates who apply. Of course, if you are managing your candidates in Outlook and Excel and you have, let's say, 75 candidates per recruitment project, it's really difficult to send an email to every candidate and saying thank you them, and then adding their contacts to your Excel spreadsheet. But in recruitment, in Recruit Lab, it's really easy to set automatic stage actions. There are 4 types of them, and the easiest is just sending an automatic email to everyone who has applied. I have created a template before, so just a simple email you can send to all of your candidates, and you can choose whether you want to add a button in the stage. I will show you how it looks like, or you can make it send the emails automatically after a candidate spends time in your stage. I will choose the button this time. So now you don't have to worry that you are not answering to your candidates. Just click on the button here, and all your new candidates, here you see 5 of them, will receive a thank you letter from you. So the first really easy step. The second one, a lot of candidates say that they don't receive any feedback after they have sent their CV, after they have submitted their video answers, or maybe even visited the office and after they have had an interview with hiring manager. So please, let's stop this. And again, it's really easy to set an automatic message here. You can even set the emails or send the emails in the specific time in the future. For example, maybe you know that your recruitment process is going to, or the project is going to end on the 1st of November. So set the date and time, and all your candidates will receive automatically a nice letter from you saying that unfortunately this time you were not selected. So now we have the start, we have the finish, and as we talked about the asynchronous video interviews today, I will show you how easy it is to use them in your recruitment process if you are recruiting for the positions where you assume you will have a lot of candidates. For example, let's say Trine is someone I would like to continue, and let's say I have in this pre-selection stage 30 or 50 candidates that are quite similar, or whose CVs look a lot, whose CVs are similar. So in this kind of recruitment processes, I would suggest to use asynchronous video interviews. You can again set an automatic stage action video interview, and with just a couple of clicks, you can send your. I have prepared 3 questions for my candidates. So with a couple of clicks, you can send your questions to your candidates. And as we talked before, it's really important to keep the balance between automation and human touch. So in Recruit Lab, you have the opportunity to send the questions or add the questions as text format, or you can choose the video format as well. So you as a recruiter or maybe your hiring manager can record the questions and send the questions then to your candidates, so they will see who is behind the company. You can introduce your company more, and it's again one step closer to offering better candidate experience. So it's basically like sending an email with your questions, and your candidates will receive an email with a link to the questions. They can record their answers with phone or computer. They can choose which one is more suitable for them, and they will send their answers back to you. Let's say you have about 30 or 50 candidates in this stage, and you want to know which candidates have already sent their answers back to you. For this, we have these small icons here. And here we see that the video icon is green. It means that Triin has already sent me back her video answers. I can use another stage for this. I can also make it automate this step here. We have a move to stage automatic action. So you can choose here after receiving video interview response. And if your candidate sends back their answers, Recruit Lab automatically drag and drops these candidates from this pre-selection stage to the video interview stage. So you have a great overview of candidates who have already sent their answers. And it's really easy to check the answers. You can share them with your hiring managers. You see the question, you see the answer from candidate, and and you can add comments or ask your colleagues if they would like to meet the candidates, and if they have any additional questions about the candidate, their skills or previous experience. So these are only some very simple steps how to automate tasks you are doing in every recruitment process. And one more I would like to show you, scheduling interviews. This is something a lot of you spend a lot of time on, and a lot of recruitment teams are like hiring new recruitment assistants because they need someone to schedule the interviews, and the scheduling takes a lot of time because of this back and forth emailing, and it's difficult to find suitable times for your candidates, and for your hiring managers. So in Recruit Lab, again, there's an easy tool to schedule interviews. Just select the candidates you would like to meet, click Schedule Interviews, and you can choose whether you want to have the meeting or the job interview via our video tool, or you would like to meet your candidate face-to-face. By clicking this button, there will be a link added to the invitation. Again, you can write an email. I have a short template here, and add all your colleagues who need to be on this meeting, and choose a couple of times that are suitable for you and your hiring managers, and send the invitation. What your candidate sees, your candidates will receive an email with a link. And what you as a recruiter can do, you can just have a short call with your candidate. You can say that, hi, Triin, we would really like to meet you in person. I just sent you some times for the interview. Please choose a suitable time for you. And if Trine clicks on the link and chooses a time suitable for her, calendar invite will be automatically sent out to your candidate, to you, and the hiring managers you added to this during this scheduling project. So this is really something that our clients are loving, because on average it has saved them about 80% of time they previously spent on scheduling. So these were some ideas how to automate some tasks that will really change the way you manage your recruitment process, and really improve, these steps will really improve the candidate experience you are offering to your candidates. Then, thank you. It seems that our time is coming to an end today. As I mentioned before, we have 2 offers for the participants today. We talked a lot about these asynchronous video interviews. So to the ones who were attending today during the live webinar, we are offering this tool for free for the next 30 days. If you are interested and if you would like to try this tool out, let me know. You have my contacts, and our customer support specialist Trine is happy to help you, and will introduce the tool in more detail. And the second offer, we just created a private and exclusive Facebook group for the recruiters from the Baltics. I will send you the link with the recording, webinar recording, and you're all welcome to join us. We will keep you up to date with our next case studies, interesting interviews. For example, we will publish soon articles about Bolt, Printful, and DPD. And we will also keep you up to date with the next webinars. And the webinars will be free to those who are the group members of the group. So I will, as I mentioned, I will send you the link after the webinar, and feel free to join us. And thank you for all the questions, but as our time was limited today, we were not able to answer all of them, but I will definitely take a look at the questions, and we will take them into consideration if we are deciding on which topics we will make the next webinars. If you have any questions about Recruit Lab, again, let me know. And I see that Paavo added a link to Recruit Lab as well to the chat. So if you are interested in this asynchronous video interviews viewing tool, whether you can sign up on our homepage, or you can write me an email and I will send you further instructions. And thank you from my side. It was really nice to see you here, and hopefully we will meet again during our next webinars.